Alright, well, we picked up these little boogers a week ago at the post office. And they were basically just furry little golf balls with beaks. So now they're a week old. Starting to get their little tail feathers and their wings are growing out. They're almost twice as big as they were when we got them. They're growing really fast. So they're pretty calm. But I think one of the reasons they're growing so fast is they're getting a lot of protein. Because as calm as they are, they're basically little psychotic piranhas for scrambled eggs. Chuk chuk. So if you've been keeping up with our channel lately over the past couple months, then you know it has been insanely busy around here, project after project. We got our baby chicks, I don't know, in March, I believe. This is now May. I had been designing a new coop for our current layer birds in February with the intention of building a new coop in March, and then all this goat stuff happened. And if you've been keeping up with that, you know, we had to put in the fence, had to build a shelter, had to tear down a ton of pallets for the materials to do all that. You know, milking stand, feeder, get the goats, get them settled in. That was a process. And then we cleaned out the shed and was going to reorganize it, and if you watch that video, we ended up discovering that the whole wall had fallen off the foundation, and so we had to spend a couple days fixing that. So all those projects sort of put the chicken coop on a back burner. I feel like we're starting to get a little caught up, and this chicken coop project is now the project of the day, even though it's a couple months late, and can't come soon enough because our little chicken McNuggets are not McNuggets anymore. Come check this out. So as you can see, these are no longer little McNuggets. This is a full-on spicy 4-piece, and they need a house. They need to get out of here. They are ready to go. They're digging holes, tearing the place up. Look at that. He's like, I'm gonna try and figure out how to get out of this box. Yep, I see you eyeballing this. You stay in there. You stay in there. We're building you a house today. So yeah, got to get them a house built. Plan is for this current mobile chicken coop, which is for our adult layer hens, that is going to become the grow out pen for the pullets that we just saw, and it's going to be like the love shack for broody hens, and our little breeding shack for our Dorkings. So I have to have a place to put these girls, so that's why I'm building a new mobile coop today. So this is going to be, because it's enclosed, has an enclosed run, it's a perfect little spot for pullets growing out, keep the snakes away from them, keep them separated from the rest of the flock, but still within the paddock, so they can get used to each other and integrate. So the new coop is going to be my version, a modified version of the Justin Rhodes Chickshaw. There's a lot of things I like about this coop. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. Doing a search on the internet for like the best mobile coop design or the best chicken tractor design, you know, there's tons and tons of them out there. But Justin's design always comes up, and it seems to be the most practical. Some of the design considerations I have for this project are, obviously it has to be mobile. It has to be very light. That one is not light. It is a hassle to move, partly because the wheels are too small, which I still need to upgrade. I'm going to put bigger wheels on that, take those wheels off and put them on a hand truck that needs new wheels. But so anyway, design considerations for the new coop. I like that it's easily movable because it has big wheels, got a handle. It doesn't need a run like this one. It just needs to be a hen house for the birds to sleep in and lay eggs in. Needs to house 24-ish birds, plus 2 ducks and a goose named Ed. So I was looking at the web page, Justin's web page, Abundant Permaculture, where he lays out how to build that chickshaw. And there are a few things that kind of stood out that made me a little nervous. Namely, the front legs are just kind of attached with like a bracket, so probably change that a little bit. If you watch Justin's channel, then you probably know that they went on the Great American Farm Tour, got a bus and packed up their kids and driving across the country and visiting a bunch of farms. Well, they also gave their chickens and the chickshaw to Art and Bri as a gift. And so if you watch Art and Bree's channel, you can see the actual original chickshaw in use. And I thought, who better to talk to and ask about what they would do differently if they had to build this thing from scratch all over. Who better to ask than the people who are using it every day? So I reached out to Art and Bri, and Art got back to me, and these were his ideas.
Hello, all you Guildbrook fans out there. My name is Art from the Art and Bri channel, and I just moved my chickens from down there in my garden area to the top of the garden area because we're about to plow the garden. I have my chickens in this amazing coop. This is called the Chickshaw. And Justin Rhodes gave it to us as a Christmas present along with 25 chickens. I love this chicken coop. It's completely portable, it rolls around, it has enough perching space, I say, for 30 birds, and it's just all around amazing design. Even with the most incredible design of really anything, I can almost always come up with 1 or 2 changes I would make to suit my needs a little better. So I'm going to tell you just 2 things I would change about the chickshaw design. And there's, 20 amazing things about it. I'm going to tell you the 2 things I'd change. Number 1, more nesting boxes. We have about 25 laying hens in here, and it just gets crowded at laying rush hour. There's 3 nest boxes here. It's a great design. They slide in and out, easy to access. But I would either put 3 more down here below, or actually you could retrofit 3 underneath. That would just be for daytime laying hours. Here we are at the front side of the coop. The one other thing I would change on this design is I would make this front leg a little stronger. And Justin immediately pointed that out to me when he brought him over. He said, be careful if you're moving it, you set it down, those will break off. I haven't had a big problem with it, but when I see a small weakness in a design like that, I think, hey, how could we fix that? If I were to fix it now, I'd probably try to run this corner piece all the way down to the ground, and that would make it a lot stronger. Just run that 2x4 to the ground. I just want to say thanks to the great folks over at Guildbrook. We love your content. You're doing a great job at the Homestead and on YouTube. And thanks for this opportunity to just contribute a little bit to your channel and tell you some of our experiences with this awesome chickshaw.
Thanks for that, Art. Links to Art and Bree's channel in the description. Great channel. They got a cool property in the mountains up near Asheville, and lots of goats and lots of chickens, obviously. So we're going to build this pretty similar to that design, just bigger and more nest boxes. I am going to do the hardware cloth bottom, but I have only 1/2 inch hardware cloth, so I'm going to use that. But I'm going to do it in a way so that I can put in wood on the floor for the winter, so we can do deep bedding in the winter, partly to keep birds warm, even though I don't think we'll have that problem, but mostly for the mulch factor. So yeah, let's get started and build a mobile chickshaw chicken tractor hen house bird condo. Well, you may have noticed we haven't done a video in about a week, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, I intended to do a complete build video of this chickshaw project, and then I realized we were a couple of weeks behind with our chickens, with the goat stuff happening, the shelter, the fence, the milking stand, all that, and doing build videos with it. Makes those projects take twice as long usually, and we were out of time for the chicken getting the new chicken coop built with the baby chicks growing up. They ended up being in the brooder box over a week longer than we really wanted them to. So it was time to just buckle down and get that new chickshaw built. Plus it took a little over a week to do because I was kind of building it as I went. I did originally create a 3D model back in February of what I wanted to build with some plans and everything, and what I ended up with was pretty close to that, but I did make some adjustments along the way, so I'll show you what we ended up with, and then we'll go over some of the features. Okay, here it is. This compared to the original, to Justin's original chickshaw design, it's similar but very different as well. The front has the same type of door. Turns into a ramp. It's a little taller. I don't think it's quite as wide. It's basically a 4x8 sheet of plywood, shortened 4 inches both ways, so that the roof will overhang 2 inches all around. The tow bar is actually retractable. Now I built this out of chain link fence post, and the sides are chain link fence top rail that I had lying around, and this just slides in and out. And the bar is removable with these pins on a wire. So that way you can use it to prop up the top if you want. But the wheels are almost at the actual center of gravity, so this thing does weigh a couple 100 pounds, but it's absolutely nothing to lift it. And it rolls real well. The legs are lag bolted to the inside of this frame, rather than using hardware like fasteners like the original design. So those are very solid. And there's about 13 inches of clearance underneath, which is enough for the chickens to get under there for shelter if they need to. Over here, you can see how I kind of attached the tow bar. I used a 1-foot section of the chain link fence post as a sleeve, drove U-bolts into the 2x4 behind this panel, and this holds everything in place so that it can slide out. And then at the back, I just drove a bolt and a nut through it so that when this slides out, it hits this and stops. I am going to put another hole, once it's extended, down so that you can drop a pin in so that it doesn't slide backwards while you're moving it, because when you're pulling it, if you're on a hill and it wants to follow you, it just kind of squishes you. So I need to do that. These are the Marathon 24-inch by 2-inch solid rubber flat free tires. They come with 3/4 inch bearings, but they also come with an extra set of 5/8 inch axle shaft bearings. So I took out the ones that came with it, put in the 5/8 inch bearings, used a 5/8 inch by 7-inch bolt as the axle with a fender washer on the other side, and I built basically a U with 2x6s and sandwiched them together and slipped them up over the 2x4 frame and just lag bolted it together. So that is my axle housing, what holds the wheels up. And it's so that the clearance is the same the whole way along. I mean, it does lean a little bit down so that it doesn't tip over. The roof is on hinges, like the original, like Justin's original design. So you can lift this whole thing up and clean it, or access it, or whatever. Now Justin's original design had, I think, 3 nest boxes that he used milk crates for up on a shelf. This is a 3x3 grid, so we have 9 total nest boxes, and I think that'll be plenty for the number of birds that'll fit in here is 25 to 30-ish, and the roosts are different than Justin's design, where he has the roosts all on the floor. I have 2 that are elevated, 2 on the bottom, and then a couple, 2-3 birds can fit back there on that landing bar. But the floor is 1/2-inch hardware cloth, and as you can see, we put the birds in here last night for the first night and let them out this morning, and it took them a minute to adjust because all they've ever known is the old coop. So that last night was the first night in their new house.
Ha, look at that.
What? Someone get up on it? Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Bird.
That's actually why I left that long, so they could get up on it. Okay, nest boxes. Like I said, there are 9 nest boxes. There's 6 in here. And 3 down here. Simple. So that's the my version of the Chickshaw. I'm real happy with how it turned out. I think that it addressed all of the challenges that Art mentioned in the one that he has. And let's see, if I would do this again, one thing I will probably do is build an outrigger of 2x4s that are underneath this entire assembly. They come out, and then put a piece of angle iron in between them, get a longer bolt, and use that as the support for the outside of the wheel, because they tend to want to do this when you're pulling it across the yard. So that, I think, will solve this issue. And this will probably be the design that I build from now on for full-grown adult laying hens. It works great. So, 2 dozen birds per Chickshaw, and you're in business, and you can expand or scale as you need to, and you can be completely mobile and pasture your birds. As you can see, well, we moved them last night. As you can see, we got our little spider web of hawk defense webbing with some rebar and shepherd hooks, and just kind of string it all over, and that prevents hawks from trying to dive down and go after your birds. If you guys have questions, comments, I'll be happy to answer them down below. Other than that, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Hey Jer,
What?
what's the next project?
Sleep. Bottom center. Looks like it. They figured it out.
Hey, here's a cool idea. How about a Chickshaw race? Well, not with chickens, of course.